And so without further ado, I would like to welcome Yigal Elbaz up on stage, Senior Vice President of AT&T Technology Services. Thank you, Yigal.
Good.
Yep, good.
See you. Is there a click? Good morning. How are you all doing? Good. I'm Yigal Elbaz. I'm the Network CTO at AT&T. By the way, 1876, that's the official date when Graham Bell made the first phone call. I got a message that because people came from all over the world, I'm responsible to make sure that you are awake and alive for the rest of the day, so I'll do my best. Welcome to Dallas, Texas. Welcome to AT&T, and most importantly, welcome to the prpl conference. When Josh and Jason and Eric asked me to speak at this conference, I immediately said yes, because I believe this conference represents an immense opportunity for this industry. This is an important moment in time. If you zoom out and you look globally in the industry, there's a couple of things that we're seeing everywhere. One, the demand for broadband is growing. Only on our network, we're seeing about 30–35% growth year over year in data consumption. If you look at home consumption, we're seeing close to a terabyte of consumption on a monthly basis. There's about 15 connected devices in an average household. We think it's going to be double in a couple of years. The ratio between uplink and downlink is changing. And for those reasons, you're seeing operators all over the world deploying fiber at scale. And at the end of every fiber link, every fiber connection, there's a box. There's a CPE. There's a gateway. And there's about over 1 billion of them. I know that not all of them are on fiber connection, but it doesn't matter. There's over 1 billion of them. And guess what? We own and operate them. This is our Android-like moment for our industry. If you look at other parts of the ecosystem, on our mobile devices, there's 2 operating systems. On PCs, there's 2 operating systems. On connected TVs, there may be 2 or 3 operating systems. On game consoles, there are 3 providers. On home gateways, tell me how many operators in the world, I'll tell you how many operating systems exist. This is why we're here. This is what we need to fix. In fact, if any of you is also on the wireless business, then you know that we are trying right now, try to solve the same problem, which is how can we create scale and interoperability between operators through exposure of network APIs so we can monetize better our network. And guess what? In wireless, we don't even own the device or the operating system. Home gateways are a strategic asset, and it's time for us to figure out how we can take advantage of it. In the next, 12, 15 minutes, I'll share with you a little bit about the state of the network of AT&T. Well, you are our guest, so we'll share a little bit. Then we'll talk about our journey into openness. So you'll know that we have credible track record in that space. We'll talk a little bit about network monetization, and then we'll get into prpl. What are the challenges? Where should we go? What are we doing at AT&T? And what's the call for action out of this conference? So at AT&T, our mission is to be the best converged broadband company. In order for us to achieve that, we are aggressively building 2 scale platforms, our 5G wireless network and our multi-gig fiber network. AT&T is the largest internet fiber company in North America. Our footprint covers over 27 million living units, and we're going to be passing 30 million living units by the end of next year. Our 5G network covers more than 300 million POPs. Just our 5G mid-band is already covering more than 220 million POPs. We are steadily moving our customers into the new 5G standalone core. In addition to that, and to complement that, last year we launched our 5G fixed wireless service, AT&T Internet Air. We are offering this a little bit different maybe than other operators because we always lead with fiber. But we're offering this in areas where we don't have fiber or in areas where our customers need a catch product for their low-speed DSL service. We just recently offered the same service to our business customers. Even though we have the largest wireless network in North America, it is impossible in the US to cover every square inch of the terrestrial network. And for that reason, over the last several years, we worked with a company called AST Space Mobile to continue and develop direct connectivity between satellite and mobile phones. Last year, we were the first operator to do data 4G and 5G calls, and we just signed a commercial agreement with that company. It's a very exciting part of what we're doing, the ability to make sure that no matter where you are, you will have coverage. Many of the applications that you may talk about later today, the immersive experiences, requires network that provide low latencies and very responsive networks. In order to do that, you need to converge compute, network, and storage. This is what we've done in 12 large metros in the US. We took advantage of the fact that the CSP, the cloud service providers, are building more and more regional sites, and what we've done is we optimize our network into those regional sites so we can create those low latency platforms. IoT is a large business for AT&T, and so we are tracking the emergence of RedCap, and you should be able to see us being very active in that domain moving forward. If you've been in our industry for the last several years, you know our track record when it comes to openness and disaggregation and software-defined networking. We've been active in this for the last 10 years, and you should know that if we either lead or joining or participating in any of those initiatives, we take it seriously. And I'll give you some of the examples of what we've done over the last 10 years to demonstrate our track records and what we want to bring over into the Purple community. Starting with our IP core, our core backbone carries 700 petabytes of data every single day. Close to 700 petabytes. Close to 70% of it is already running today on an open, disaggregated hardware. It means that we buy the hardware, the silicon, and the network operating system from different vendors. We are now extending the same hardware and the same architecture, just a different network operating system, to build our multi-service edge platform, converged edge platform. Number one. Clearly, like any other operators, when you move to 5G standalone, you need to build a cloud-native platform. But this is not new to us. We've been virtualizing aspects of our areas of our network for the last several years. In fact, all of our 5G customers today, even if they run on a non-standalone core, the packet core is fully virtualized. All of our cell site routers are all open and disaggregated, and different elements in our network are all open and disaggregated. And just recently, at the end of last year, we've made a very courageous announcement announcing our modernization of our wireless network and introduction of Open RAN and Cloud RAN into our wireless network. That's a deal that we signed with Ericsson, and we've made a very bold statement out there that by the end of 26, 70% of our traffic will run through an open hardware, open interfaces hardware in our wireless network. And so, as a community, we've been working on some of the things together. We've built open sources together over the years, whether it's OpenStack or ONAP or ONF or other parts of Linux Foundation. Not always we've been successful. Some we've been, some we were not successful. But we always try to learn from that. And the most important thing is that we learn how to work together. And if I have to mention a couple of takeaways from that journey that we had, these are the following. One, you need to have a purpose. Open is not a purpose. Open is a mean to an end. The purpose should be, I want to work my cost structure. I want to drive innovation. I want to build new services. I want to create scale. I want to have flexibility in my architecture, and I want to stay away from vendor lock-in. That's a purpose. That's number one. Number two, you need to have commitment and persistence. There are going to be bumps in the way. We may not agree on everything. It may not work the first time that we thought. But if we believe in the purpose, we need to push forward. And the last one, which is not always true, was not always true in the past, is that whenever the operators are either leading it or heavily involved, there's a high chance for success. And again, this is what you're seeing in purple now. A little bit about what we're doing in the wireless network, because I think it has a lot of similarities. We realize that we as an industry, as wireless operators, there is an opportunity when we're moving into 5G. If you believe that the mobile economy will have a new wave of innovation in the next decade with additional use cases, then our question is, how can we participate in the value creation? And the way we answer that is, why don't we start expose some of the capabilities that we're building in our network? If our network is moving to software, if our network is moving to cloud infrastructure, if we are building APIs, and if our networks all the way down to the IP and others are programmable, then we have an opportunity to expose it in a meaningful way to developers so they can build services and capabilities that can be monetized. However, the key to success is all of us operators coming together. No one wants to build an application for AT&T customers only. They want to build an app that can run over a large scale of devices and customers. And this is what we've done in that space. We've created the Open Gateway under the GSMA and Camara and TM Forum and other alliances on which we come together and work on those specifications and interoperability so we can create scale. It is no different than what we're trying to accomplish here in purple. Again, I just remind you, in this case, we don't even own the device or the operating system. Now imagine that went one too much. Okay. Now imagine that we don't just have network capabilities, but we have also the device and the operating system. And if you look at our industry today, some of the challenges that we have is that we are fragmented. We don't have any scale. It's very non-cost effective the way we're building home gateways today. In fact, many of our customers just bypass our routers and bring something else home, right? We have lock-in into some of the vendors and how we build the gateways. And as an industry, for years, we focused on the hardware and speeds. Well, I think we figured out the hardware. It looks good. We got it. And I think we figured out speeds, right? If you have GPON or XGS-PON, we have appropriate speeds for our customers. It is time now to focus on the software and the services that can be built on top of that software. And this is what purple is so important. We are building a carrier-grade open source that has the right level of reliability and security, and we are driving for scale. Imagine all of us running on the same operating system. We can now drive an ecosystem of application, of services, that people can think, there's an opportunity for me. I can run on a large number of devices. We shouldn't be shy that say that we want to manage our cost structure. It will reduce our cost structure, having a common base of an operating system. It will create the right level of flexibility and innovation. It will remove any lock-in that we may have today. So, very exciting moment. And for us in AT&T, again, I think we joined last year. And as I said, whenever we join, we take it very seriously. I believe there's already parts of Purple that is getting introduced into our home gateway. Next year, we're going to continue and scale it. And by 26, you should assume all of our gateways are going to run with Purple. So that's our commitment into that effort. So what should you take out of this presentation? Couple of things. One, if you're a global carrier, and if you're not here, looking at the camera, please join us. It's important. We need every one of you, and we need each one of those gateways to be part of that effort. And we have an opportunity. We also need to be able to continue and fund this. Okay, so the more participants, the easier it is to be for all of us to continue and bring momentum behind this. For the application developers, you have an opportunity. You've done apps for mobile devices. You developed services for connected TVs. There is no reason for you not to develop application for homes, households. There's a huge opportunity over there. For all of the silicon vendors and the OEMs and the integrators that are all here, this is an opportunity. We're in this together. I know that for some of us that may look a threat because I'm used to work with that operator and there's no way for them to leave us. But think about this differently. It's an opportunity. We're in this together. Everywhere where there is good competition and innovation, it's always going to make our ecosystem better. So with that, I want to thank you again for taking the time and coming to Dallas. I know there's another conference following later this week. This is not a given to have that many people here. I appreciate you coming in. I'm reiterating the point that I'm trying to make. This is an important moment for our industry. We have a strategic asset in customer home. That's the home gateway. And it's really the time for us to figure out how we can take advantage of it. So thank you, and enjoy the rest of the conference.